What up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P, and you know what that means. It means that the Motor City Cats are back at it. That we came to give you stats and not static. But whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. We got some things. We got some things that we're going to get into today. And all those things are the things that you want to hear. We got things about some prospects. We got things about some old players. We got things about some new players. We got things about some Southern playalistic, Cadillac, funkatistic. You guys to get high. If you know, use the hashtag. But it is what it is. Today, we are going to be kicking off the week talking about the news and the rumors because it is that time. It is that cycle. It is what it is. So if you are new in the chat, make sure you get in the chat. Make sure you say what up, though. Make sure you holla at your boy. Oh hell no! What up, those salty pork chops? I will never, ever say that word properly. The way that I say it is proper. Oh hell no. Yeah, so if you are new here in the chat, go ahead, make sure you smash like buttons, make sure you subscribe, make sure you stop by and say what up, though. Lupe Lions 117 or 17 or 17. He says, hey, sir, what is the word? You bringing Slay back? We're going to talk about that. And what I have to say about that might surprise you. But we're going to go ahead and get to it. We might as well just go ahead and get into it as the first topic of the day. Why not? Darius Slay has officially been released by the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the word on the street is that Darius Slay wants to play one more year of NFL football, and he would like to play for either the Philadelphia Eagles, if you can make things work with them, or he would like to play for the Detroit Lions. Now, here is where it gets a little bit spicy. Darius Slay, it is rumored, has been released by the Philadelphia Eagles so that they could bring him back with a cap adjustment. So we already know he's willing to take less money. So if you're willing to take less money and come back to Detroit, that is fine. But my question about Darius Slay is this will be his 13th year of NFL football. He will be 35 years old when the season starts, or sometime in the season. I'm not sure about his birth date. But what is your role, Darius Slay, on the Detroit Lions? We have Terrion Arnold, who is a young up-and-comer, okay? He was a rookie last season. Now he's going into his second season. Apparently, he's doing too much rapping and not enough focusing on football, which is wild, by the way. I think there was one person that I saw that said that on Twitter that was replying to his freestyle, and he got cooked. He was like Adrian Broder. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked. A lot of people just wanted to let him know that it really wasn't appreciated, and the fact that he was saying that, a lot of people just said, ain't nobody got time for that. You know, that's pretty much what it was. They ain't got no time for that. What up, though, Tactical Sport? So here's the thing about Terrion Arnold. Terrion Arnold, again, working on his craft, just like he was working on his craft all last offseason. He's working on his craft this offseason. He's got the benefit of two things. The first thing is that the game will slow down for him at some point. Right? He's basically baptism by fire. He was thrown into all of the worst possible situations as a rookie. And by worst possible, I mean you're going up against Mike Evans. You're going up against Chris Godwin. You're going up against this receiver and that receiver, top receiver here, top receiver there. Very good number two here, very good number two there. So you're going up against them and you're playing man coverage. mano y mano, who's going to get the best of who? Who's the biggest dog in this fight? And sometimes he was the biggest dog, and sometimes he was a little dog. All right. Obviously, people don't like the fact that he didn't get interceptions in his first year. So one of the things that he's been doing while he's been training, he's been emphasizing getting his head around. You get your head around, you're going to get interceptions. That's what I said about Terrion Arnold before. So Carlton Davis, the third, somebody we all want back. If you don't want CD3 back, I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say about you. I know what I might say about you. But I don't know if I'm going to say it to you. It depends on how big you are. Pause. I'm just playing. But if you don't want Carlton Davis, the third back, and if you think we're just going to take a Charvarius Ward or insert corner here, let me tell you why that's the wrong approach. The reason that's the wrong approach is because this team is very big on culture. We know that Carlton Davis has publicly stated it wasn't an accident. He didn't do this accidentally like, oh, I didn't know y'all were recording this because I'm on a podcast. I didn't know you were streaming live. I didn't know you had viewers. Yes, you did. He stated on that podcast that Dan Campbell was his favorite NFL coach that he's played for. He said that Dan Campbell is his favorite head coach, right? He's played for a few. He played for Bruce Arians. He played for Todd Bowles. Dan Campbell is his favorite. He doesn't seem like he wants to play for other coaches. He talked up Dan Campbell and how he did things and how he handled his business and how he treated his players. He talked to Dan Campbell on how he would uplift his players, not tear them down. And if he did criticize them, it wasn't in a way like a Fatty Matty Patty where he tells a Darius Slay, and this all comes back full circle. He tells a young Darius Slay to get a man's penis out of his mouth. This is what he told Darius Slay. That's not Dan Campbell's style. Also, Carlton Davis III, very good culture fit in this locker room. Loves the locker room loves him. He writes the locker room writes back. No Geno Smith. Okay? So now we're just going to grab a guy, plug and play. Maybe he'll work out. Maybe he won't work out. When you got a guy that works out, even though you didn't draft him, but you did trade a third-round pick for him, bring him home. Okay? So now, here's the question. If we bring home Carlton Davis, if we've got Terrion Arnold out there developing, and obviously he does need more seasoning. He needs more time. We know that Carlton Davis is his vet. We know that Carlton Davis is teaching him and shaping him and molding him and helping him learn the game of NFL football. Now, I don't really want to enter Ennis Rakestraw into this chat. And I don't want to sound like I'm pooping on Ennis Rakestraw or poo-pooing Ennis Rakestraw. I'm not. But the thing that I want to say about Ennis Rakestraw is we didn't see anything from Ennis Rakestraw because Ennis Rakestraw could not stay on the field. Ennis Rakestraw was injured perpetually, right? He did a little bit of spot duty and all these things. And you know, obviously in the preseason, he was fantastic. You know, his coverage was sticky and all these things. So he's got a little bit of NFL, quote unquote, NFL action that you can go on if you're talking about the preseason. But Ennis Rakestraw is not ready. We'll see what this offseason brings, but he's not ready. So now let's go to Darius Slay. What's your role? Lupe Lion 17 says he would be a good locker room guy for the Love Guys. Okay. Is that his role? So if his role is to be a good locker room guy, how much are we paying him? Right? Because obviously he would be a depth player at this point in his career. He's not starting. Right? Now, I mean, you want to put Carlton Davis on the field with Terrion Arnold? I mean, with Darius Slay. So what do you do with Terrion Arnold? Right? Terrion Arnold is not the guy that you want to bench because you want to keep building up his confidence, right? He talks a lot. He's very confident. He can look at what he did last year and the mistakes that he made and, you know, the grabbiness and all this other stuff. And I've said before, all he has to do is trust his technique. Once he trusts his technique, then all the grabbiness and the penalties will stop completely. Right? The reason that he grabs is because he's afraid to get burnt. So whenever he feels someone getting up on him, instead of trusting his, you know, break with the person, or, you know, trusting the comeback, or trusting the footwork, trusting the position, and trusting the coverage that he has, also getting his head around, instead of doing those things, he grabs. That's his first instinct. So he needs more seasoning. He needs to be playing. What's the role of Darius Slay? And how much are you paying Darius Slay? If he's just a locker room guy, are you paying him $4 or $5 million? 6, 7? How much are you paying him for 1 year of being a good locker room guy who you would hope not to see play? Right? Because, oh, by the way, he's an outside corner. What are you going to do? Move him inside? What do you do with Amik? Amik can play inside and outside, but when you have 3 corners on the field and your nickel set, you want the third one to be Amik Robertson. You want him to be out there on the field playing the slot. So my question is, where do you put Darius Slay? What is his role? And how much do you pay him? Because if any of those things are not defined, or any of those things are a little bit wonky, like, oh, there's a $7-8 million contract on the table. Okay. I'm gonna pass. We love Darius Slay, but I'm not gonna bring him back if it's about stepping on the toes of the development of Terrion Arnold, or not being able to bring back Carlton Davis. Because for sure, I don't want Darius Slay back if Carlton Davis is not here. He's not going to play the role of Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis is a better cornerback right now. That's just the way it is. Darius Slay is 35, or he'll be 35 at the start of the season. Carlton Davis is 29. You know, so it's simple math, simple attrition, all these things. Darius Slay is still a good player, but if you're going to make me choose between Carlton Davis and Darius Slay, I'm choosing Carlton Davis. If you're making me choose between the development of Terrion Arnold playing all the starter snaps, or Darius Slay coming back to Detroit to get one last hurrah under a regime that actually makes sense and does things the right way, I'm choosing the development of Terrion Arnold. That's just the way that it is. All right, let me go ahead and get to the chat before we get into the next topic. Taylor Made Media says, I don't know what Darius Slay's I don't even know what that says would be, but I do know his wife is fine as frogs hair. Didn't the Lions pay Teddy Bridgewater $5 million to mentor Hendon Hooker, Jameson Williams, and the other youngsters? They did, but he was also a backup quarterback. So if you're paying a backup quarterback $5 million, that's standard. What are you paying an aging cornerback that wants to play one more year? What is the price tag? That's the thing. If I don't know the price tag, I can't tell you. I can't give you an answer. If you're paying him $5 million to be a mentor, as long as that $5 million doesn't cut into anything else, that's all I would say. Because obviously it's going to be for one more year. So you won't need the $5 million that he counts against your cap this year, he won't count against that next year. Yeah. Tactical Sports says, yeah, I'm out on Slay. Yeah, I mean, it would be a feel-good story, especially if we win the Super Bowl next year. Which brings me to my next topic. It's a nice segue. Especially if we win the Super Bowl next year. I'm sure you guys have heard it, but I'm going to say it anyway, because some of you may not have heard it. Kimberly A. Martin of ESPN has come out with a report that says that the Lions, meaning Brad Holmes, were the most aggressive team last season at the trade deadline, going after one Myles Garrett. So anybody that thought that Brad was picking up the phone to specifically call for Zadarius Smith, I've told y'all how the phone call went before. I'll tell you how it went again. Yeah, what up, Andrew? This Brad. Yeah, ain't nothing. I'm just chilling. Nah, you got it. What up, though? We talking about Myles Garrett? What we doing? Oh, right. Okay. Oh, you not gonna trade him? That's not what you told me yesterday, though. That's not what you told me. You told me if I give up, 3 of these first, I could get him. Come on now. Don't leave me empty-handed. Come on now. I got to get something now. Come on now. Andrew. Hold on, Andrew. Listen. Come on now. Don't be a man of your word now. Don't renege. You said you was going to let me hold Myles Garrett for 3 first-round picks. What happened to that? You said you was loyal. What happened to that? No? Oh, okay. So it's the higher. It's Jimmy. Jimmy not going to let you do it? Okay. Jimmy got your nuts in his purse? Pause. Okay. I'm just saying. I call here from Myles Garrett. I thought we was confirming what we talked about yesterday. Now you going to flim-flam and flip-flop? Come on, you got to give me something now. Come on now. Oh, okay. Zadarius. All right, that might could work. Yeah. We could do that. But listen, we gonna put a pin in this Myles Garrett talk for right now. Because really, I'm in the middle of a Super Bowl run. I got to have somebody, because everybody dropping like flies over here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so let's talk about Z. Let's talk about Big Z. Yeah, we're going to push it, the trade deadline tomorrow now. Come on. We got to finalize this thing now. Yeah. I can't go back empty-handed now. Come on now. All right, you be good. I'm going to holler at you later. All right, bye-bye. That is how the conversation went between Brad Holmes and Andrew Berry. Okay. There was things about nuts and purses. There were all types of things that I can't let y'all know about. I might not have been privy to any of the conversation. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. I don't want anybody coming out going, hey, Motor City Don P said he was on the other end of the line. I know some people who might do things like that and might make those types of claims. Like they know Brad Holmes personally. I know some people that might feel that way. However, Myles Garrett and the Detroit Lions is a thing that you have to make happen if you are the Detroit Lions. The reason being is the whole Darius Slay situation may be a byproduct of the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles trying to get Myles Garrett. I don't want to see Myles Garrett on the Philadelphia Eagles. Brad Holmes doesn't want to see Myles Garrett on the Philadelphia Eagles. Dan Campbell doesn't want to see Myles Garrett on the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think any of the Lions fans want to see Myles Garrett on the Philadelphia Eagles. Tactical Sports says, I'm pretty sure the phone call went just like that. Carbon copy, 100%. I heard the tape. I did not. But at this point, Dan or Brad Holmes being the most aggressive and continuing. Okay, we've all heard that he's picked up the phone in this cycle. He continues to be aggressive. He's continuing to try to get Myles Garrett. Yes, he came out at the combine and he told you, well, are we going to get that big marquee defensive end via trade? Probably not. He has to say these things the same way that Andrew Berry has to say, we're not trading Myles Garrett. Okay. Now there's reports that they're supposed to meet with Myles Garrett's representatives this weekend or at the end of this week. And what comes out of that, right? Because Myles Garrett closed down all the mentions. He closed down all of the windows. He said, I am not negotiating with this team. He cut off communication. So now they're trying to get him back to the table. What is the way to get Myles Garrett back to the table? Agreeing to a trade, because he has publicly stood on the table and said, I am done in Cleveland. Thank you. Next. Thank you for your services, Cleveland. Thank you for being loyal fans. Thank you for doing whatever you had to do to root for a team that sucked as bad as this one. And we know something about that, being the Detroit Lions. But you know what? The Detroit Lions did not almost go 0-16 twice in a row. Okay? We went 0-16, and Cleveland said, hold my beer. And they went 0-16 and 1-15. Like, they almost went 0-16 2 years in a row. That's wild. Did that happen? Okay. It's funny. I saw a tweet yesterday. Some, I guess, Browns creator. So they came out and he was talking about how Myles Garrett had cut off all negotiations with the team. And this Browns guy goes, man, let's just trade him to the worst team in the league for the hell of it. You know, that's you, buddy. That's you. You guys are the worst team in the league. It's not close. I guess his angle was, yeah, we're not the worst team in the league because we got the second overall pick. No, I'm sorry, you're worse than Tennessee. Tennessee's quarterback situation is just terrible. You hear that, J-Rod? Tennessee's quarterback situation is terrible. Will Levis is trash. But yes, for those of you that thought that Brad Holmes would never, and Brad, again, you have to understand, like, with new information comes your ability to change your opinion. We saw Brad Holmes in phases. The F them picks phase from the LA Rams, when we gave them Stafford and we got back a bunch of picks, was not how Brad Holmes is always going to operate, right? He needed a bunch of picks back so he could build a roster that was devoid of talent. Fast forward 3 years later, it is a fantastic roster, one of the best top to bottom rosters in the NFL, if not the best, right? It's debatable. Okay, you could say it's top three and it's not three. That's what I would say about the Detroit Lions roster. Like, look at our offense. Our offense is complete weapons from top to bottom. Our defense, when healthy, extremely good. I told you we'd be top five. I said that, and we were top five for a little bit. And then everybody got hurt. Everybody got injured. So with Brad Holmes now in a different space, now with us needing that one piece. I know he said at the combine, well, why y'all talking about one piece? Why not two piece? Huh? Why not a Popeye's chicken biscuit and a sandwich? Why not some of that? You know, when he was doing all that, well, he's not revealing his cards. If you're playing poker, you're not running around showing everybody the cards that you have. Right? If you're playing chess and not checkers, you're not just going to sit there staring at the square you're about to move to. boy, don't you do that. Don't you do that. Because my night, yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. You're not going to do that. That's not how you play the game. So Brad Holmes was playing the game. Okay. So again, and I've said this before, and I'll keep saying this. Everyone thinks that Brad Holmes, the picks are so precious. He doesn't make all of the picks. He uses these picks all the time to move up and down the draft board. He moves up and down the draft board with picks. So now if you got to move up the draft board and draft the ultimate number 1 overall pick, which is Myles Garrett, you spend the 28th pick and whatever else to get him. That's what happens. You got the extra 25 million, 24 million in cap. Okay. You use that to give him a new deal, which is not what he's looking for. Right? You pair him with Aidan Hutchinson. You do what you got to do. You got to keep him away from the Philadelphia Eagles. You got to keep him away from the NFC North. So that is what I think about the report from Kimberly A. Martin. Let me go ahead and get to the chat and see what y'all are talking about. Jessifan says Myles Garrett is miles away from being a Lion. Well, Jessifan, you spelled his name wrong. It's M-Y. What up, though, Jessifan? What up, though, J-Rod? Yep. I got Brad on speed dial, but my brother has the first name as well. Yeah, that sounds like something that would be said. Level setting, says Taylor Made Media. My dog knows Dan Campbell's dog. I mean, hey, that seems to be plausible. Kane Press says, now we definitely got to get some good players now to beat Washington. They done got Deebo Samuels. I am not afraid of Deebo Samuels. I'm not afraid of him. Not at all. Listen, I saw a chop up. I think ML Football did it, or maybe they reposted someone's video, and it was like Deebo Samuels against the Detroit Lions when we had Jeff O'Hell-Nokuda. I was like, bro, if you had to go back 3 years when Jeff O'Hell-Nokuda was on our team to put together a highlight tape, y'all know he's not still that dude. So is the offense going to be good? Yes. Is it going to be as explosive as ours? No. Not afraid of Deebo Samuels. Lupe Lyon says, I hear rumors that Hendon is going to Tennessee. For what? What are they trading Hendon for to Tennessee? Because it ain't the number 1 overall pick. I tell you that much. Blah, blah, blah. Where's the love? Go Levis. No, let's not go Levis. Go away, Levis. Yes. Now, how the hell are we going to beat Washington with Deebo? Answer that, Chef. The same way we should have beat them in the divisional round, by not turning the football over and having a healthy defense. I'm not worried about Deebo Samuels. We're not talking about 2 pieces because most of us believe we are 1 piece away. Exactly. That was the code. Why aren't y'all talking about 2, 3, or 4? Because we don't need 2, 3, or 4. We just need 1. Not really afraid of Deebo being on the Commanders if we get a valid pass rush. 100%. Even misspelled, he is miles away. Yeah, he's in Cleveland right now. You know, that's a few miles from Detroit, right? Maybe 2-3 years ago, being afraid of Deebo. Do you really think the Lions would bring in Myles Garrett when the stars they sell are Jared Goff and 97? I don't. Yes, I do. Because 97 and Jared Goff maybe when healthy, you know, but the pass rush ain't been great. You know, you saw what happened in the Super Bowl. You took the greatest quarterback of the present time. He is not the greatest quarterback of all time. That would be one Tom Brady. Okay. But you take the greatest quarterback of the present time, who's won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years, who was trying to three-peat, and you make him look pedestrian and you make him look like just a guy. Remember when Nick Wright said that Jared Goff was a civilian? Well, it was funny. The Philadelphia Eagles pass rush made Patrick Mahomes look like a civilian. All right. So we need that type of pass rush. If we get that type of pass rush with the offense that we have, oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Hooker to Tennessee for a 7th round pick and a chicken sandwich. That's probably about it. In a Faygo pop, maybe. No, not for number 1. I thought I heard a player like QB swap. You did not hear a player swap. Levis, listen, man. Levis is terrible. Levis is awful. What if we get Sawyer? No, pass. I'm not reading that part. And Kenneth and maybe Darius would be a good build. Kenneth Grant, you mean? Like, I would take Kenneth Grant. If you're talking about Darius Knight, I don't really want Darius Knight. I didn't see from a linebacker prospect, Jihad Campbell's the only one I want. Right? Because you got on top of I did this before. I did the 1, 2, and 3. It just happened to be 1, 2, and 3. I wasn't trying to do that. But you had Javon Walker. I think it's Javon Walker. Then you had Jihad Campbell. Then you had Darius Knight. Javon Walker was a pass rushing specialist that can't really cover. And then Darius Knight is a run stopping specialist who can't really cover or get to the passer. Doesn't seem like he gets to the passer too much. Then you have Jihad Campbell, who does everything. Jihad Campbell could play safety if you asked him to. Okay? So, no, I wouldn't. Kenneth Grant is a good start, but Sawyer and Darius, nah, I wouldn't do that. Slay said he wanted to come back and he has been good with his money. He wants to come here to retire. That's fine. If you come here to retire and you're good with your money and we can pay you $2 million, come on down. Darius Slay, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Alex, tell him what he's won. Hey, Darius, you've won an all expenses paid tour to the Detroit Lions, where you once played and you were drafted here. You want to retire at home? Well, hey, $2 million behind that door. There's a contract. Sign it. Other than that, you know, I mean, $2 million might be a little bit low. Like I said, I'm not going over 5. I'm not going over 5. I don't want Darius Slay because I forgot what he said about Lions fans a long time ago. I didn't hear anything that he said about Lions fans. The only thing that I heard was he said he didn't like how the fans booed Stafford. You know, Stafford's his guy, you know, but he didn't say anything crazy. It's not like CJ GJ. TaylorMade Media says, can you get that type of pass rush with number 95? Listen, TaylorMade. He's not supposed to be on the field. Pat O'Connor is not supposed to be on the field. He wasn't supposed to. He was only there because everybody got injured. Everybody and their mother got injured. Okay? You know, he's not a starter on this defense. He's not even really a rotational piece on this defense. He was a guy at the bottom of the roster that came up and provided the only depth that we could get once we got to him. When you get to the 3rd and 4th string players, it is what it is. He can be depth mentor and iffy role if needed. Darius Slay can't play the iffy role because Darius Slay is not a receiver, is not a safety. He's not big and physical and doesn't hit like iffy. Nobody told you that, TaylorMade. Nobody told you that. Stop the cap. TaylorMade, I got something for you. I just gotta find it. All right, here we go.
You lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God.
Tactical Spark says, can we keep O'Connor and get rid of Project Pat Martin? We can do that. We can do that. All right. Let's get into some post combine mock drafts. We have a post combine Lions 7-round mock draft. This was done by, let's see, Detroit Lions on SI by Christian Boer. Okay. Now, if you are like me, you love this first pick. Okay. Are we ready? Here's my latest prediction for the Lions draft class following the NFL scouting combine in Indianapolis. Round 1, pick 28, Jihad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama. He won the draft already. He won. You know what I'm saying? He won. Campbell is an extremely versatile linebacker who could fill a number of roles for the Lions defense. With Derek Barnes set to hit free agency, the Alabama product could slot in as the Sam to handle some will duties alongside Alex Anzalone and Jack Campbell. He has been solid against the run and has the fluidity to cover tight ends down the field, showcasing as much in on-field drills. There is also pass rush potential to be unlocked as he had 20 pressures as a blitzer in his final season with the Crimson Tide. The Lions have had an affinity for players out of Alabama since Holmes took over as general manager, and Campbell could be the latest in that pipeline. Jihad, not Joey. So if y'all saw, I don't know if y'all follow Mike Payton on X. You know, I had to have a talk with Mike Payton. I was like, brother, man, where was your antennas when Jihad Campbell was going to the Minnesota Vikings? He was like, I just don't see him going to the Lions being there, which is fine. That's fair. I don't see him being there at 28 either. But that's when you got to trade up past the Vikings. You can't allow that to happen. You can't allow the Minnesota Vikings to grab Dallas Turner 1 year and Jihad Campbell the next. We are the Detroit Pride, not them, or the Detroit Tide, not them. It's us. That's our thing. Drafting Alabama players is our thing. They stole Dallas Turner. They can't be allowed to get Jihad Campbell. No, not at all. Not with freaking Brian Flores and having them boys blitz. You got to be outside of your mind. Let me see. You know what you got to do? If the Minnesota Vikings are trying to draft Jihad Campbell, you got to say this.
Stall him out.
Where you got my 40, homie?
You know what I'm saying? What you got on my 40, homie? That's what you got to do if the Minnesota Vikings run up and try to draft Jihad Campbell. Jihad, name meaning struggle or effort. That is correct, Jay Cruiser. Lions will have to trade up to 12 to get Jay Campbell. BH won't. He's traded up to 12 before for another Alabama player. His name is Waymo Jamo down below. What up, though, Jay Cruisin'? What's cooking jerking? Well, I did have some jerk chicken the other day. Mwah. You know what I'm talking about? But also, if the Vikings try to draft Jihad Campbell, you got to say,
A sugar cookie, man. This is crazy.
all right, let's continue with this mock draft here. Round 2, pick number 20, Josiah Stewart, edge, Michigan. Okay, now I did say this. I did say that if you go ahead and you get Jihad Campbell, you go ahead and you get your edge in the second round. And that's exactly what my man Christian Beer has done here. Says the edge remains a big need for the Lions, but the abundance of talent at the position in this year's class could allow them to bypass the position in the first round. Stewart is a solid fit for the defense and would give the defense a Michigan connection on the edge. After a huge start to his collegiate career at Coastal Carolina, Stewart transferred to Michigan and had modest production. He demonstrated continuous growth in 2 years with the Wolverines and finished his final season with 37 pressures. J-Rod, that's not a thing. Tactical Sports says, if we could get Jihad and Stewart in the draft, I'm game. Yeah, the draft is won at that point. Stewart has the frame to be a power rusher, but his athleticism sets him apart. His style, opposite Hutchinson, would make for a solid pairing for Kelvin Shepard's group. Another thing, we're talking about this, I heard today, somebody believes, and I'm not going to say who that somebody is, I'm just going to say somebody believes that because Zadarius Smith's bonus comes due if he's on the team after March 30th, that they will cut him to avoid paying him the bonus. Do you believe that the Detroit Lions will cut Zadarius Smith? All right, chew on that as I get to the rest of this. All right, round 3, pick 101, projected compensatory pick for Aaron Glenn. We get JJ Pegues, DT Ole Miss. I don't know anything about this guy, but I like the pick. And I'll tell you why in a second. Said Pegues' status has been trending up as of late, and he has intriguing athleticism that should translate to the NFL level. He wore many hats in college while at Auburn and Ole Miss, including some responsibilities on the offensive side of the ball. Following his defensive line drills at the combine, Pegues stayed on the field to work out as a fullback. The results were intriguing as he showed off some impressive natural athleticism. This type of versatility is coveted by the Lions, and he could allow them to do some unique things with him as far as alignment on defense. Detroit also has a vacancy at the fullback position for what it's worth, and there will be opportunities for creativity for whatever team drafts him. Also, what I forgot to mention when we were talking about Jihad Campbell, because it said Pegues stayed after to do fullback drills. Jihad Campbell stayed after to do regular drills. The drills that he was already doing in the combine, he stayed after to work on them. After everybody left, he was in Lucas Oil Stadium by himself working on his drills. That is a Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell type of guy. That is a Brad Campbell guy. Through and through. Jihad Campbell. All right. Taylor Mason, how much is his bonus? I don't know. 6 million, 9 million, something. No to Slay. We got Regshaw injury ready. Wait. Yeah, I said something like that earlier. No, they're not cutting Z Smith. We gave up draft capital for him. We gave up capital for CD3, which we may lose cut on. Why would we willingly give up more draft capital? I agree. I don't think that they're cutting Zadarius Smith either. I'll take it back. All right. Round 4, pick 133, Pat Bryant, wide receiver, Illinois. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. I do not care about a wide receiver in this draft at all. There is no reason for me to care. There is not caring is something I won't do. Okay?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
We just don't. Draft of wide receiver, okay. Cool. But I'll read what they said about Pat Bryant, even though I do not care about Pat Bryant. And if you become a Lion, Pat Bryant, I'm sorry. But at this point in the draft process, I don't care about you. I don't care about you, your wide receiver friends, your running back buddies. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about nobody on the offense. Unless, of course, it's Jalen Milroe as our tush-push artist. I'm just saying. Not to replace Jared Goff, but to come in on 3rd and 4th and short to be our tush-push artist, which will help to keep the Detroit Lions offense on the field and help us convert more drives for touchdowns for 7 than we do for 3 or for nothing. That's my point. All right. Brian is a big physical wide receiver with good hands who could slot in as Detroit's future wide receiver 3 nicely. His production improved gradually in each of his seasons at Illinois, culminating in a 984-yard final season. We are extremely reliable. He was extremely reliable in his final season with just a 1.8% drop rate and caught 9 of his 13 contested targets, according to Pro Football Focus. Bryant is a willing participant in the run game as well as he earned a 71.2 PFF run blocking grade. And then they got a video of Pat Bryant, which I'm not going to watch. I didn't watch any video of the wide receivers. I don't know their names. I do know Pat Bryant's name right now. I know Tetairoa McMillan, and I also know Isaiah Bond because, yeah, I will break the record tomorrow. I'm going to run a 4.2. I will break the record. And if I feel good, I might even run a 4.1. Guy comes out, 2 attempts, runs 4.4. Guy comes out, 2 attempts, and runs 4.4. What are we doing? What are we doing? That's not even close to a 4.2. That definitely ain't close to a 4.1. Come on, bro. Come on, buddy. Round 6, pick 198, Howard Cross, defensive line, Notre Dame. Cross is another versatile player who participated in offensive drills following his defensive line obligations. He's a versatile defender who could line up in the A or B gaps up front and had modest production as a pass rusher. A player like Cross would give the Lions options as he could be a 3 or 5 technique with Aleem McNeil's status for the start of the season in question due to a torn ACL. Having plenty of options up front will be paramount. Okay? Let's see. $6 million. It ain't my money. The Lions can do what they want. Someone is saying we get pick number 3 somehow. How will we get pick number 3? I don't know how we get that. This coming draft will be shocking, I feel. Maybe. Thibodeau 2. Big Will Status, what up, though? He says, what if any of their wide receivers get hurt? Then what? Big Will Status, you can draft a wide receiver in the 4th. I just don't care about you right now. Right now, I only care if you are a defensive lineman or you are a linebacker named Jihad Campbell. Other than that, I don't care about you. I don't. I just don't. Would I welcome you on the team? Yes. Am I going to do any work on you and want to like draft you? No, I don't. Don't want to. But if you get one in the 4th or the 5th, that's fine. I don't have. If they did their draft like this, if they actually draft with all these picks, but if they did their draft like the one that's shaping up now, Jihad Campbell, Josiah Stewart, a defensive tackle whose name escapes me, I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't be doing anything in the 4th and the 5th rounds, in the 6th and the 7th. So yeah, take the draft that way. I'm fine with it. So if you do that and then you want to go ahead and grab a receiver, because the thing that they've done is they've addressed the pass rush, they've addressed the defensive line. So I'm fine. If you want to get your jollies off and get a receiver after that, no worries. Why are they not going to re-sign J-Mo? Why do we say this? Who says that? J-Mo is the type of guy that you cannot allow to leave your building and go to where he wants. If you are not going to re-sign J-Mo, you will need to trade him. Because don't let J-Mo go to the freaking Packers or the Bears, okay, because he now has a connection with the Bears. Don't let him go to the Vikings. Don't let him go to the Commanders. Don't let him go to the Eagles. Don't let him do these things, right? I'm pretty sure they'll lock up J-Mo here pretty soon. I don't know why they wouldn't re-sign J-Mo. Again, if they do trade him, that's the best. That's the best of a bad situation. Look, the cap keeps going up. I keep telling people that. And if you backload a deal, you're never getting burnt. If you backload the deals, the cap goes up to what your deal would have pushed it to anyway. So it's fine. Yes, TaylorMade Media. I am the keeper of the J-Mo. I need to get a shirt that says that. J-Mo is in if no more suspensions and unlawful moves, in my opinion. He got cleared. You know what I'm saying? Not guilty. He did get cleared. All right. And the last pick is round 7, pick 277, Connor Colby, inside offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman, Iowa. I mean, it's the 7th round pick, your last pick of the draft. You use it to bolster the offensive interior, and he's probably better than Colby Sorsdahl. So I just don't like the fact that he has Colby in his name. We've got Colby Sorsdahl already. This man's name is Connor Colby. So it sounds like, it could be the same player just based off of the name recognition. What up, though, JSJ? Jay Cruz says loves the songs. Let's see. Oh, we got another one. We got round number 7, pick 246, Tommy Hill, cornerback, Nebraska. Now, this is intriguing to me, so let me read what they have to say about him. It says, Hill has the frame to compete with the top receivers, but needs to fine-tune his overall technique. Still, his physicality could help him fit in Detroit due to the team's affinity for man coverage. Hill earned a 68.6 coverage grade from PFF and had 1 interception in 7 games played last year. Oh, Brad Holmes likes him because he's injured. He was extremely productive on the ball in 2023 with 4 interceptions, and injuries played a bit in his limited production in 2024. Has high upside and could be an intriguing late and first rounder. Could be a late round addition for Detroit. I mean, it sounds like he has a little bit of promise. Obviously, we like the size at corner, and if you say that, how tall was he? Oh, that wasn't size. That was coverage grade. Yeah, you can never have enough corners. I don't know. The last corner that we took in the 7th round was Chase Lucas. Chase Lucas has not panned out or done anything but go to the San Francisco 49ers and think he was going to win something, and then they had the colossal collapse this season. So he still has won nothing. All right. Got a couple more pieces of news. Let's see. What the frick? What the hell, boy? That wasn't supposed to be the site that it went to. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and read this. This is what we were just talking about. Talking about JMO. As the official keeper of the JMO, I am the most qualified to talk about this. So let's see what, if there's a bunch of hooey in here, I will have to go ahead and debunk that. All right, this was written by John Macaron, the Doc, Detroit Lions on SI. The Detroit Lions could be facing a dilemma with one of their talented offensive weapons. With free agency incoming, Detroit is expected to reward Aidan Hutchinson and Kirby Joseph with new long-term contract extensions. Wideout Jameson Williams would also be in store for a massive contract, but these are, hold on. But there are some who believe the Lions organization should proceed with caution when deciding upon handsomely paying the former first round draft pick. So Detroit Free Press beat writer Dave Burkett, when evaluating if the Lions should sign Williams to contract extension, offered reasons why the team should hold off. As Burkett explained, no deal is imminent for Williams and the Lions, and there's a case to be made the Lions should hold off on signing their young receiver to a big money extension. But given Williams' limited and questionable NFL track record so far, the most prudent approach from the team is to slow play a new deal. In his third season in Motown, Williams recorded 101 or 1,001 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns, 8 total on 58 receptions. The speedy wideout is still under contract for the 2025 season. General manager Brad Holmes could still make the decision to exercise his 5th-year option this offseason. Listen, here's the problem with this approach. Are y'all ready for this? Sailor Outlaw George Ishaq, yo, what's good? What up, though? Justin Fan says JMO may end up a big trade piece, in my opinion. I think they franchise JMO. Well, they won't have to do that now They would have to do it next year. And here's the reason why we shouldn't. The longer you wait to pay J-Mo, the more expensive he is going to become. If you pick up his 5th-year option, which I fully expect them to do, I would actually be pretty surprised if they didn't. If you pick up his 5th-year option, that gives him to you for another year, and it's gonna be 15 to 20 million. Probably this is just a number I'm throwing out there. Now, here's the problem with picking up a 5th-year option. I believe, just like the franchise tag, when you franchise someone, the negotiations must start from that number. So, like, for example, the Bengals franchised T. Higgins. I think he's going to be making $26.5 million this year playing under the franchise tag. If they are going to sign him to a contract extension, then the number starts at 26.5. You can't start negotiating lower than what your franchise tag is. So if he's getting 26.5, you're not paying him 25. That's just not going to happen. Okay? If you pick up his 5th-year option, I believe it's the same situation. So let's say his 5th-year option is $20 million. Okay, because I think Hutch's is like $22 million or something like this. So let's say J-Mo's 5th-year option is, let's say, $17 million, because Hutch was number 2 overall, J-Mo's 12 overall. If you don't sign him to a contract extension, then you have to pay him at least $17 million going forward. Whatever new contract he's negotiating, the floor is going to be $17 million, because this was his 5th-year rookie option. He had to wait 5 years to get this money. Okay. Then it goes into like a little bank thing. What am I trying to say? Basically, you can't access anything else other than what that starts off as. Okay? So if I'm the Lions, I'm going to try to negotiate a long-term deal with him before everything else happens. Can't teach that type of speed. Tactical Spork says, I'm not sure I would be willing to trade J-Mo, and I'm not sure we should wait to sign him. Without J-Mo, we don't have a wide receiver that can take the top off of the defense. Got to have that. All right, let's do a little thought exercise. Okay? Let's do a little thought exercise. I just want to do this with y'all right quick. Okay? All right, let's do this. Y'all ready? Are you guys ready? Cedric Sweeney, I guess, is not a J-Mo fan. So here, okay. All right, we ready. Let's get more of a tangible thing here. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. I just wanted to go by position group, but it doesn't look like I could do that. All right. Now, back in 2018, our receivers were Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones. All right. Let's see. They did it in alphabetical order. I don't want to see that. All right. Let me get a better one. Okay. We'll go with ESPN. Why is this so difficult? ESPN said that they have it. They don't have it. Hold on. Because Pro Football Reference has it, but it's just really cumbersome the way that they have it. So as I said, Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones. Those are our starters. Okay, just going by starters. Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones. Right? We good with that? Now let's go to 2019. All right, our starters at wide receiver. Danny Amendola and Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones. Okay, let's go to 2020. Follow me now. I know y'all with me. Stay with me now. I lie for you before I lie to you. Stay with me now. All right, in 2020, our receiving starters were still Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones. Okay, that's 3 years of Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones. Okay? All right, 2021. Okay. My Google done picked up on this already. It's just laying it out for me. All right. Our offensive starters, our wide receivers were Khalif Raymond and Amon-Ra St. Brown. We didn't get to a receiver that could run at least a 4.3 until 2021 with Khalif Raymond. Okay? In 2022, we got J-Mo. We didn't really have J-Mo for the entire 2022 season because of his injury. 2024, we had J-Mo, but he was slowly coming along. Okay? This was what we had until we got J-Mo. We did not have the ability to take the top off of a defense. All right, Justin fan, we'll see you later. Cedric Sweeney says, I'm for signing J-Mo. Okay. We did not have the ability to take the top off of a defense until last year. To be quite honest with you. The first 2 years of J-Mo, like I said, the first year he was injured. The second year, there was the suspension and, kind of slow rolling his role. He had like 350 yards, but another 200 something rushing. So he gave us 500 plus yards from scrimmage. This year, he exploded and gave us the true number 2 wide receiver that we needed. Next year, you're expecting him to be 1B to Amon-Ra St. Brown's 1A. Since Calvin Johnson retired, we had not had a receiver that could take the top off of a defense until we got J-Mo. So, to Tactical Spork's point, he says, without J-Mo, we don't have a wide receiver that can take the top off of the defense. Got to have that. So for those of us that want to trade J-Mo or not re-sign him, And we know that he's good. We know that he can catch. Right? We know that he's improved. We know that we've developed him. It's easy to just say, oh, we'll go get a guy like Isaiah Bond in the draft because Isaiah Bond runs a 4.2. No, he doesn't run a 4.2. But what about the 4.1 that he said he was going to run? No, he doesn't run a 4.1. Well, does he run a 4.3? Well, he said he was going to run a 4.3. Why is he not running one? He doesn't run one? No. Well, what does he run? Oh, Isaiah Bond runs a 4.4?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay. We don't. we don't have time for that. Isaiah Bond runs a 4.4. Okay. Maybe you get an Xavier Worthy. Maybe. But Xavier Worthy was a first round pick. So there's a lot of ifs and maybes having babies. J-Mo is an important, integral part of this defense. This offense. You can't stretch the field with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown runs a 4.6 40. You can't stretch the field with Tim Patrick. Khalif Raymond is not an every down receiver. So you're not really stretching the field with Khalif like that. If y'all want to go back to the days of now J-Mo's gone and we need somebody to take the top off of a defense, where do we get that from? That's just the question. You know, if you're not trying to re-sign J-Mo, if you're trying to trade him away, where do we get the speed from? We saw what happened with this offense. We took an already historical offense and made it even more historic because we got the guy that could take the top off the defense. Jameson Williams eclipsed 1,000 yards receiving while missing 2 games. Jameson Williams provided a dynamic for this offense that we had been missing since Calvin Johnson retired. No, Jameson Williams is not Calvin Johnson. Nobody clipped that. I didn't say that. I said he's the element that we have been missing since Calvin Johnson retired. The ability to take the ball down the field. We know Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam LaPorta, they love to work in the middle of the field. Well, if your field is 20 yards from the line of scrimmage to your deepest corner or your deepest safety, that's good for you. If your middle of the field is 10 yards, you're in the middle of the 10 yards between the deepest safety or corner and the line of scrimmage. You don't have as much room. Right? And when you don't have as much room, you don't have as much yak. And when you don't have as much yak, you don't get as many first downs. When you don't get as many first downs, you don't get as many touchdowns. So for those that believe that J-Mo is not important, I would say
I'm Rick James, bitch.
That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Gibbs is fast, but he isn't J-Mo fast. I'd like to see him race. I saw who was that running back that was like Dustin Jahmyr Gibbs and Saquon Barkley? I don't know his name, but yeah, they put the simulcast up and he dusted him. But, the 40 times, sometimes are not indicative of your on-field speed. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is faster on the field than he was in the 40. No, it wasn't Genty at all. Genty is nowhere as near as fast as Gibbs. Yo, hey, I'm always talking to y'all about crazy stuff. So in the episode where I was talking about what did I say? I said comparison is the thief of joy, right? Somebody came and I was talking about Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. Check this out, y'all. Check this out. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Follow me now. Follow me. This person came and commented on the video, and he volunteered this information, showing that he doesn't know ball. Tell me you don't know ball without telling me you don't know ball. This man said, Devon A-Chain and Gibbs reminds me of Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. Devon A-Chain is better, but Gibbs just has a better offensive line.
You lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Boy, have you lost your mind? Because I'll help you find it.
I don't know. Will Murray said that's a horrible take. Again, this is the best of the ones that I played.
Boy, have you lost your mind? Because I'll help you find it.
Okay. I immediately just commented to him. I just said, stop the cap. That was my reply. There was no other. Nothing else. The only thing that you could compare Devon A-Chain and Jahmyr Gibbs is their speed. Devon A-Chain might actually be a little bit faster. But, as far as being able to take a pounding pause, being able to be in every down back, like I did this comparison in the rookie seasons between Gibbs, Bijan, and A-Chain. I did this already, which is why I know 100% that he makes no sense. He knows no ball. He must have been a Dolphins fan. So, Devon A-Chain cannot be in every down back. He's always injured because of it, right? He's got a small frame. He's good in space, but I think Gibbs is better in space, So it's just Gibbs does more. He's a better running back. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Right now, I'm gonna say I will not be here tomorrow, and I will not be here tomorrow because I have to go to court over a traffic fine that I'm disputing. Basically, I feel like they have a malfunctioning red light camera. The red light in itself was way too fast. I was actually sitting at the light and it turned green and a dude before me went, and as I started to go, it turned yellow. So yeah, I got flashed by this camera, so I'm going to court tomorrow. So I won't be able to make the stream. What I will try to do is, if I can get some time at some point, I will do an episode that will not be live, maybe even after coming back from court. So it'll be on the later end. So for those of you guys that can stay up and watch the premiere, be my guest to do that. For those of you that can't stay up to watch it, then just watch it in the morning because it'll be up there. So that's probably what I will do. I got to call a lawyer like right after I get off of this and see. I want to get it postponed because I didn't want it to be on this day anyway, because I think it's just a waste of my time. But yeah, so for that reason, I will not have a live show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. The court time is so I'm trying to do this in your times. My court date is 6:30 p.m. I have to be there at 6 p.m. And the place where I have to go to court is probably at that time of day an hour from my house. So I will not be able to get back if I do. Now, if I can get it postponed, which on the last day it's probably not going to happen, when I talk to this lawyer, I will be here tomorrow. But again, if not, then I'll come back after the stream, unless you guys let me know. If you want me to just start the stream later, then I'll schedule it for later, like 8 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. and I'll come back and do that. So you guys let me know if that's what you want me to do, then I'll do that. But if not, then I'm just going to kind of pre-record it or post-record it and then put it up later. So, non-driver mofo. No, I am driving mofo. Friday we can do a mock. Yes, we can do another mock. If you missed it, if you are not in the Discord, we can get you signed up if you want to participate. We're trying to get 32 people from the chat to represent a team, and we'll go ahead and do it. I don't know. Can we find a different platform? Because I think the one that we were using was not great because people kept getting kicked out of the rooms and all that stuff. So again, we want to kind of try to work the kinks out before we do the all 32, because we don't want people getting kicked out and then, you know, all that stuff. So, so I don't know if you guys can come later, let me know, and then I'll just do the stream later. If not, then I will do the stream and just post it up when I get. Or here's what I'll do. I'll schedule the stream for 8 p.m. I don't anticipate it being too long. Obviously, I just have to. They're either gonna say yes or no. So I'll schedule the stream for 8 p.m. and then if you can catch it live, catch it live. If you can't catch it live, then just catch it on the rewatch. So I'll do that, and that way we'll take away all the confusion. So yeah. You'll be sitting at your daughter's gymnastics anyway. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll schedule the stream for 8 p.m. I'll get home as soon as possible. I don't know what could happen where I would be late by 8 p.m., but maybe 8:15. I don't know. But I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. Let me go ahead and get off here and call this lawyer. So as I said, Motor City Cat's back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, keep your Lions news pragmatic. And again, if you guys see Isaiah Bond walking around the streets, if you see him on social media, if you see him anywhere, his 4-1 that he predicted was a 4-4, and you just got to let him know that
Ain't nobody got time for that.
peace.